Hey, what's up, y'all? Today I'm going to be talking about some Mass Effect. And really, I was thinking about this the other day of how Mass Effect Andromeda is a pretty big letdown compared to Mass Effect the trilogy. I think that's not really... It's a pretty agreed take on it. But what astounded me is that I legitimately can't remember everyone's name in Andromeda that are your companions. Usually I'm very good at remembering companions' names because, to me, I think that's arguably the most important bit about having RPGs that you have companions with, is really making companions worthwhile and interesting characters. Because I think they really, when you think about Mass Effect, I doubt that you think about the story. You probably think about the companions. I think it's that way with every game that has companions. I think the companions are more important. In saying that, I can only remember 3 people's names in Andromeda. Jahal or Jal. I forget. I think it's Jal, but it might be Jahal. The new alien guy who was my favorite companion in Andromeda. Coral, just because her name was weird, and I think her name is Coral. It's the chick who's psionic, who was trained by Asari, which is just weird that they just didn't have another Asari, but whatever. And then Phoebe, because I hate Phoebe, and she's annoying as hell. Kind of funny that I remember that. I remember the other characters, you got the human dude who's from Australia, I think. You got the female Taurian trying to beat Garrus, and then you got the old Krogan who's meant to be like Rex, but is not nearly as good as Rex. And as you can probably tell, I can remember everyone, I think, in Mass Effect, because I was thinking about it yesterday. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hopefully everything's alright. Oh my God. I think I can remember them all. The real problem is Mass Effect 3, because I can remember everyone in Mass Effect 2 and 1. You have Mass Effect 1, Liara, Ashley, Kaidan, Rex, Garrus, and Tali. Those are the 6 companions that you have in Mass Effect 1. And 2 of them, I guess in a way, technically 3 of them can die. However, only 2 of them can die within the story. Rex can be shot by Ashley during Virmire, and then in the same mission, either Ashley or Kaidan will die. In Mass Effect 2, you have Garrus, Tali, Jacob, Miranda, Jack, Grunt, Legion, Thane, Zaid, Kasumi, who else? Mordin, Samara, technically Morinth, the sneaky one that you can recruit, and I think that's everyone. I think it is. And then in Mass Effect 3, you have James, Edie, Liara, Garrus, Tali, and Ashley, or Kaidan, depending on who you let live in Virmire, and Javik. You can have Javik. And that's everyone. And the point that I'm making is that, that story cemented those characters in my mind, comparatively to, Andromeda, where I just kind of forgot about the characters. Except for Jahal. or Jaw. I think it's Jaw. I don't know why. I forget his name exactly, but you know who I'm saying. He was an amazing character. He's also the only companion I've ever had in one of these games where I never let them go. They were always in my party because they were the only interesting person to me. To be honest, like Coral or whatever her name is, I don't care. Phoebe, I hate. I never took her along for anything, or not, or the one Krogan guy who's like, you just want to be Rex, and then also the female Turian, you just want to be Garrus, which I think honestly, looking back on it retrospectively, granted, hey, 2020 vision and all that, but I would have much rather preferred that they were their own unique characters than being like copies of another character. Like, have the female Turian be a different person. Don't have her just be a Garrus clone. Have her have her own opinion and personality. I think that would have been a lot better than just trying to make a clone. Like, instead of having an old Krogan, why not have a young female Krogan, eager to prove? I guess that would be like Grunt, but, whatever. I also realized that Mass Effect 3 is the only game where you don't have a Krogan companion. I guess in a way you could say James is kind of the Krogan companion, in the sense that he's kind of a meathead, but it's not the same. But yeah, I think that companions make the games, I mean, I think about like Final Fantasies. I'm like, yeah, they did. Like, I think that's actually the reason why I think Final Fantasy 16, as a side tangent, didn't do as well, because I think it's a good story. Like it honestly is. I have beaten it, but I think that it misses what made Final Fantasy really special, which is companion-driven stories. A journey built with you and your friends, that you learn upon this journey, that you gather, that you kind of go through it together. And to be fair, I want to be clear, my first ever Final Fantasy game that I beat was Final Fantasy 7. So I'm kind of spoiled when it comes to like a version of a game or a version of Final Fantasy that is very good. I'm kind of spoiled. But in saying that, I still honestly believe that's probably why Final Fantasy 16 didn't do as well, because it's not the companion-driven narrative that I think Final Fantasy fans have learned to love. And I think in Mass Effect, obviously the new Mass Effect is going to come out at some point, hopefully, right? Because, as of now, it's the 16th of February, 2025. BioWare might not be around for much longer, because Veilguard really failed, which is Dragon Age Veilguard. Speaking of which, that game is hilarious. I think, can I name every character in Veilguard? Okay. I think I can, because I replayed it like 2 times. It's actually like my most played game, I think, of 2024 somehow, because I replayed it a lot. I had like nearly 200 hours in it, which is crazy when I think that's how much I spent on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I loved Valhalla. Mind you, it didn't do nearly everything in the game. There's way more that you can do. Valhalla is a long ass game, but nevertheless, you have Tosh, which is the Qunari. You have Harding, which is the dwarf. You have Nev. You have Emmerich, who can become a lich, which is pretty cool. You have Davrin and Nassan, which are the Grey Warden. You have Balara. There we go. I remember Balara. Lucanus. And is that it? Hold on, I know there's 2 warriors, Tasha and Davrin. There's 2 three mages. Nev, Balara, even though Balara's kind of a rogue. Emmerich, and then you have rogues. Nev and Harding. Well, Nev is a magic person. Harding. I'm forgetting if I'm missing one. So Harding, Davrin on one side, then you have Nev, Balara, then you have Tosh, Emmerich, then you have Lucanus in the back. No, that's everyone, I think. Yeah, that's everyone. Because I just went through the central hub in the game, and then I remembered, yeah, there's only that many people. I can't remember them. If I were to recommend anything, I would probably say don't play Veilguard. Veilguard's a letdown. I think the ending of Veilguard is pretty good, in my opinion. I think the ending is actually pretty fun. Also, there's a lot of really lore, like bombshells that happen in it, but it doesn't really matter if there's lore bombshells if there's not going to be another game. I don't know, because I don't think there's going to be another game. Because Veilguard did not do well. It just didn't do well. Which, by turn, hurts Mass Effect. Because obviously, like, hey, BioWare as a whole might be shut down. Like, Mass Effect's probably going to come out, but it's got to be really good. Which the last time it was good was back in 2012. So, bit of a time from now. Well, I hope Mass Effect's good. Can I remember everyone in Dragon Age Veilguard or Inquisition? Yes, absolutely. You have Blackwall. I can't remember his actual real name, but Blackwall. Then you have Bull, Cassandra. Then you have Varric, Sarah. Then you have Solus, Dorian, Vivian, Cole, and I think that's it, because there's 3 per. Because you had Sarah, Varric, and Cole are the rogues, then you have Cassandra, Blackwall, and Bull, which are the warriors, and you have Vivian, Dorian, and Solus are the mages. In Dragon Age 2, you had you had Varric, Isabella, Anders, which I fucking Anders. If you don't know, you should play Dragon Age 2. Really, you should play Dragon Age 1, because he's actually fucking in 1. And then he shows up in 2. I'm forgetting. You have, well, I guess technically you also have, well, actually, I know I can't name everyone in Dragon Age 2 because of the elf companion that you get for the DLC. I don't know her name. Also, you have Sebastian, which is the other DLC companion, who was also going to be in the game anyway, but just wasn't. Then they turned him into DLC. You have, okay. Man, what is her name? I'm trying to think of the shield maiden that is super possessive over you. She's named after the shield. Man, I forget. Like, Varric writes a book about her. She's actually the love in Hightown. She's literally the main character. Oh man, I forget her name. Well, I remember Isabella. Anders. Technically, I guess your sister or your brother, depending on what class you pick. Then they go away. You have Varric, You have Meryl. That I was trying to think of the other mage. Meryl. How could I forget Meryl? Daisy. She's oh man, this is gonna eat at me until I remember her name. It's the Knight Captain. I always got a little bit confused because I always wanted to add a letter, I think, to her name. Well, okay. Varric and Isabella are the rogues. Then you have Meryl and Anders as the mages. Then you have... Oh, man. What is her name? The Knight Captain. She's the warrior. And you also have Fenris. You have Fenris. Technically, you have your brother or your sister, depending on what class you choose at the beginning of the game. For a little bit, because then they go off and do their own thing. Then you have... technically, you have Sebastian. And then the one elven lady from the DLC that I never played. I think that's everyone. Well, also Varric. Varric, Isabella, Meryl, Anders, Knight Captain, Fenris. I think that's everyone. Well, I guess technically you can't have your dog, but I think named companions, that's it, other than the DLC ones. I'm pretty sure. I couldn't tell you Dragon Age Origins because I haven't actually beaten it, so I can't tell you what companions are in there, but I think that's everyone. I don't think that I think usually Dragon Age has always had a balance of roles in the game where like you had, 2 warriors, 2 rogues, 2 mages generally. It's actually the reason why I knew that there was 9 companions in Inquisition, because there's an even amount, which I would assume I think there's an even amount if you exclude DLCs in Dragon Age 2. Because there's not another rogue other than Varric and Isabella in the base game. So, I don't think no, there's not. Which means that there's just 6 companions. I'm just forgetting the Knight Captain's name, which I can't believe. But anyway. Companions make a game, and Mass Effect Andromeda kind of failed at that. So, I will see y'all in a bit.